All right, good morning. My name is Stephanie. Welcome to Neuro-Movement for Parkinson's with PD Active. Make sure that you have a nice open floor space for yourself, and we will be doing some standing balance work. So if you know yourself to want a wall to use for balance or a chair to help you balance, have that handy. You may also want some props as we get to the floor. As you participate in my class more often, you will get a feel of what sorts of things will help facilitate the experience in your body. There's kind of a wide range of props that you might need: pillows, yoga blocks, balls, things like that. They change every week. All right, let's go ahead and start standing. Find an open spot to stand. You can also do this seated, but if you can stand, I prefer a standing check-in. Now, anytime we do a movement intervention that focuses on our nervous system, so anytime we do some sort of series of exercises or a class that focuses on nervous system health, it's helpful to do a check-in before we do the class and a check-in after we do the class to see if there was an immediate change in the way we feel, perceive, or move our bodies. That way we know that those interventions were effective for us and they're worthwhile, okay? This work can be subtle at times, and so appreciating the small subtleties and the small improvements as they accumulate over time keeps us motivated to keep coming back, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and start standing. Notice just the way you stand. Do you stand with your feet wide? Are they narrow? Do you have a turnout in your feet? Are you pigeon-toed? How do your feet land? Maybe one foot is different than the other, so you can physically look down at your feet and see what's going on. Do you have more weight on your right foot or your left foot? Do you have more weight on the forefoot or the heel? Do you have more weight in the medial aspect, meaning the inside of your foot, or more weight on the outside of your foot? And then if that's a lot to sort of sort out, maybe you can just clump all that together and say, I am biasing my weight in the forward right quadrant or the back left quadrant. Sometimes it's easier just to say a quadrant. Now let's visit all of those quadrants. Go ahead and lean your body over to the forward left quadrant. And if you want to use your hands to help you visualize, yes, I'm going to go in this direction. Swing over to the forward right quadrant, back right quadrant, back left quadrant, forward left, forward right, and back left. Go ahead and continue that. So we're going to go around. Here we go. And we can make it less of a sort of stoplight motion and more of this smooth circular weight shifting between the quadrants, the forefoot, the sides of the feet, the edges of the feet. If you're feeling particularly wild, maybe you start to come up onto your toes. And I realize my feet are cut off on this, but if you can shift forward so your heels come off the ground, and then shift back so that your toes come off the ground. If you know yourself to backwards shuffle, maybe either do this with a chair, a couch, or a wall behind you. Yeah, let's switch the directions there. So we're going to go out and around. And those of you that have been coming to class, you know by now I have a little bit of a weird obsession with feet and proprioception in our feet, right? If we have trouble in our gait, or we have trouble with shuffling or walking, the better we can understand and perceive our feet, ideally, hopefully, the theory is, the less we're going to have trouble with the feet in our gait. Okay, let's go one more circle. Lovely. Nice job. We're going to do a little bit of foot stretching. I'm going to bring the computer down so that you can have a better idea of what's going on. I like to hold on to a wall or a chair to help my balance on this one. Take your, let's go with your right foot. You're going to take your right foot and place your toes down on the ground. So the padding of your toe is there. And you're going to stride the heel down towards the mat. You may bend your front knee a little bit and then push off on the toes. Okay, so dropping the heel down and then pushing off on the toes. Try to keep your back knee straight the whole time. And the front knee may bend a little bit and then it might go straight depending on how wide your stride is, okay? Another thing to notice is making sure that your foot is parallel or forward and you're not doing this at an angle here. Okay, so ask your partner or look in the mirror, maybe look in your camera, and you can hold yourself accountable. Good. Switch to the other side. So long stride, heel comes up, drop the heel down, maybe bend your front knee. Heel comes up, heel comes down. Good, and we're working on warming up our feet and ankles. Good, let's go 2 more. And last one. Beautiful. I'm gonna switch back to the other side, so we're kind of alternating feet. This time, your right foot's gonna come back. Instead of being on the toe pads, you're gonna place your toenails down. Yes, this is gonna be a stretch across the top of the foot. Do your best. I have weirdly flexible feet, so don't feel like you need to look like me. They may look more like that, okay? And you're gonna rock out to the sides of your foot. So big toe. The idea here is that you're getting a stretch across the top part of your foot, the whole top part of your foot. Your toes, top of your ankle, the top of the foot. If you want a more aggressive stretch, you're gonna pull that foot closer to the other foot and place a little bit more weight through it. Yeah. Good. And then go ahead and switch to the other side. The leg comes back. Toenails down. Roll from pinky toe side to big toe side. Good. If you want more aggressive stretch, we're going to roll from pinky to big toe here. Good. This next one, that chair may come more in handy than you'd think. We're going to go parallel feet, hips, feet right underneath your hips, come up onto the balls of your feet. Try to make sure that you haven't sickled out to your pinky toes. Keep the ankle bones magnetized towards one another, and we're going to lower down nice and slow. Now, don't actually put weight through your heels. You're just going to tap the heels and then bring yourself back up. So heel drop, heel lift, heel drop, heel lift. Yeah. Being mindful about that alignment. So if you feel yourself like bailing out to the side or having a lot of weeble wobble, if you just put your finger on the wall or finger on something, it could stabilize you enough to do it properly. Great. Let's go 3 more, 2 more, and last one. Nice job. From here, we're going to go into a little, I'm going to bring my camera up, go into a little knee bounce. To a little knee bounce. I realize my head's still cut off. I'm just having the camera here. So a little knee bounce. Start swinging those arms sort of accordingly. Now, if you feel like you want to get a little bit more air, start lifting the heels off. Maybe even you're bringing yourself to a full hop, okay? So lots of options. It's going to be a knee bounce, heel lift, or jump. I give you options so that you can figure out what's best for you. We're going to go for 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Walk around the room. You're going to do 2 laps walking around the room. See how your body feels just in your gait. Take some notes for yourself. How long is your stride? You probably feel your calves participating in your gait now, if they weren't already. And then go ahead and make yourself down to the floor. Help yourself down to the floor. And if you get there before the rest of the team, if you're just a speedy person like that, you're just going to lie on your back. And go into what's called a hook lying position, which just means knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Hook lying position. Adam, are we going to hire a camera crew one of these days? So I don't have to keep adjusting my computer. One of these days, right? All right. So hook lying position. So we're on our back, feet are flat, knees are bent. You know the drill. It takes some of us longer than others to get down to the ground. So if you get there early, you're just going to start rolling your knees from right to left. This is your holding pattern. So if you're ever waiting for the rest of the team to catch up, you can always be doing this. Good. Let's bring your eyes and head into the equation. So as the knees go to the left, eyes and head look over to the right. Bring your knees back to the ceiling. Eyes and head go over to the other side as your knees drop down. So eyes and head always going opposite. Good. And if you're still working your way down to the floor, no big deal. We're just doing a little bit of a holding pattern while everyone gets settled. So eyes and head in addition to your knees. If you start the eyes and head and you're like, whoa, I'm getting a little dizzy, just don't do the eyes and head. Just take that out. Very good. We'll do 3 more here. 2. And last one. 3. Good. Nice job. Send your left leg long on the ground. So straighten out your left leg and bring your right knee in towards your chest. You can grab on top of your knee or underneath your knee. If you need help grabbing your knee, you can grab your pants and then grab a hold. Good. We're going to let that knee fall out to the side. Maybe let's have you let go with your left hand to stabilize out on the floor. And you're going to pull that knee out to the right. You might feel a stretch on your inner thigh. Cross the leg over. You're going to grab it with your left hand. Right arm goes out to the side. We're going to pull our leg across so far that our body starts to roll over onto the left hip. Good. Bring the leg back to your center. Pass the leg into your right hand. We go leg out to the right side. Pass the leg over to your left hand. Let the body roll and twist. Keep your right arm and right shoulder as close to the floor as you can. Let's do that one more time. Good. And cross over, full body twist. Nice job. And then release that leg out. If you're with me, we're on the left leg next. Grab your left knee in towards your chest. You can grab underneath your knee pit or on top of your kneecap. Let your leg come out to the side. You're going to pass your knee into your left hand. Pass your knee into the right hand. Cross the leg over and roll your body. Try to keep your left shoulder and arm stretched out to the left. So you're counter rotating your hips. Leg pulls back over to the left. Open up your inner thigh. Pass it over. And we go to the other side. Good. One more time there. Leg passes over to the left. Leg crosses over to the right and roll. Good. Nice job. And then release. Bring both knees back into a hook lying position. Feet flat, knees bent, hook lying position. And we're going to place your hands behind your head for a little basket. Now, if this feels feisty on your shoulders, you can certainly bring your hands to your chest or keep them down by your side. Okay. Otherwise, hands up behind your head. Trunk curls, which is just the dainty version of saying crunches. Because we're in Pilates, we don't say crunches, we say trunk curls. So we're going to take a deep inhale. Exhale, eyes go down towards your thighs. Curl your chin off the ground and then curl your upper back off the ground. Hold here for a moment. Feel the heat happening in your abdominals and then roll your spine down towards the mat one vertebrae at a time. So it's slow.
Inhale to prepare. Exhale, eyes go down, chin draws up, curl the head and shoulders up off the mat, hold. See if you can hold this shape, but let go of your hands. And then bring your hands back to behind your head and then curl yourself down. So a little test. How much are you actually doing with your abs, not just pulling your body with your hands? Eyes go first, chin tucks, curl up, hold, press your back into the mat. Test yourself. Arms come out into a T, hands come back to your head, and then roll yourself back down. We're going to do a couple more. Eyes first, then chin, then curl the rest of the trunk, hand release. Return and release back home. One vertebrae at a time. You have 3 more sets here. Curl on up. Good. A little abdominal work. See if you can draw those abs in just a little bit more. Get yourself a little higher. Hands back. Return. 2 more. Eyes, chin, curl. Hand release for the test. Hands back. Release back down through the trunk. Last one. Eyes first. Chin, curl up. Hands release out to the side. Hands come back in. And we'll release the head and shoulders down. You can keep your arms where they are or bring them down to your side. Let your knees fall right and left. Okay. Last time we did this holding pattern, I said turn your head and your eyes away from your knees. Is that correct? I said head and eyes away from your knees. This time, we're only going to do the eye movement. So as the knees go over to the left, just your eyeballs move to the right. Maybe look at your right elbow, but do not move your head. Knees go over to the right, eyeballs go left. So on and so forth. Now you have your hands behind your head to tell you whether or not you're moving your head. You should be able to feel it with your hands if that's happening. Remember, perception might be different than reality. So use those tools, those feedback tools. Eyes to the side with the knees go away. Good. Eye saccades. These are the right, left eye flicks. Here we go. 3 more times. 2 and 1. Nice job. And return. Roll yourself off to the side. Use your hand, push yourself up to a seated position. And we're going to sit with our hands behind our back here and the legs still bent. How's that position for us? Also, team, if you want some feedback, make sure that your camera is pointed at you so I can see you. If you would like feedback, make sure I can see you. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. We're going to go shrugging the shoulders up to your ears. Let your spine sort of sag in between your shoulder blades. And then push your hands into the floor to press your heart open towards the ceiling. Very nice. Sag the shoulders up towards your ears, round through your spine. I love it, Carrie, looking down at your belly button. Perfect. When your eyes go down, your spine will curl. That's a reflex. Let's use it. Bring yourself open towards the ceiling. And if we bring our eyes up, our body will innately open up. That's a reflex. Let's take advantage. So we're drawing in. If you have trouble rounding your body, use your eyes to start it. If you have trouble opening your body, use your eyes to start it. Eyes go up. Let's do a couple more. Shrug round, shrug open. Last one, shrug round, shrug open. Lovely. We're going to send left leg out long on the mat and pull yourself forward so that you have your hand on your right shin. Perfect. We got this? All right. We're going to hover just a little bit that right leg. Can you balance sort of on your tail and then rock back forward? How far back can you rock? And then rock back forward. Rock, rock back forward. There's some abs that hold you from going back too far. Make sure you have space behind you, by the way. Make sure you have real estate behind you. You should from those previous exercises. You should be okay. That's it, Carrie. You're already on it. You know where I'm going. Bring it back. Good. Switch the other leg. If you already know where I'm going with this, with the full rolling like a ball, go ahead and grab it. But I'm easing you into it for the new peeps. We're dropping back and then roll forward. Drop back and roll forward. Good. How far can you go and still rescue yourself? Woo! Nice, Adam.
All right, we're going in. Here's the full situation. Let's try it. Both legs. Pull them in tight. Hover your feet off the ground. Can you simply balance? What if you were to roll back and then roll back up to your seated position? Use some momentum in your legs. Kick through them.
Kick through them. Kick them out.
Yeah. The first step is to just get some momentum, and then we learn to control it. Good. If this isn't for you, you're going to do your single leg, right? We have the single leg options. Or how far back can you go and maybe just hover the legs, right? Lots of options. We got 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Excellent. Nice job. Roll yourself all the way onto your back. And we're back in your hook lying position again. Let's right here while we're waiting. Let's go ahead and tap your feet. See if you can go on my pace. Yeah, quick. Your shins will burn. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Okay, right here, we're going to bring your left arm down by your side with the palm facing up. The right arm, we're going to reach up towards the ceiling. Let's just be clear about this. I had someone bring this to my attention. So when I say arm up towards the ceiling, I mean arm up towards the ceiling. When I say bring your arm up overhead, I'm talking about like next to your ear. That's an overhead. It's like overhead relative to your face or your body. Okay. So if I go arm up to the ceiling, arm goes up to the ceiling, arm overhead, it's reaching beyond our ear, maybe even coming down to the ground. Yeah. Okay. Now that we're clear on terms, bring your right arm back down by your side. Left arm goes up towards the ceiling and then it slides all the way overhead. Okay. Now I want you to move that arm as far overhead as you can without too much discomfort. If you have discomfort, obviously it's not no pain, no gain. I want you to stay in a comfort zone with the pain situation. Here we go. Up and over. Now we're going to bring our head and eyes into the situation. Left arm goes up overhead. Head and eyes look to the left. It's like you're smelling your armpit. Yes, I said that out loud. Okay. Arm comes back down, eyes go back to the ceiling. Right arm goes up overhead. Turn your eyes, head and eyes to your right armpit. So you're looking in the direction that your arm is going. Okay, here we go. Up our other arm up overhead and turn your eyes and head. Go ahead and work through that at a pace that makes sense for you. Maybe there's an object on either side of you that you want to lock your gaze into every time you turn your head. It's good to focus on something, have your vision focus on an object. All right, one more time. And then bring your arms down by your side, palms facing up. Get your feet ready. We're going to do a hip bridge. Shoulders are open and wide. Press your hips up towards the ceiling. Hold. Good. From here, lower your hips down to the mat. Okay. Just a quick little thing. Whenever you're in what's called an inversion, so that's like a bridge or anything that you're like slightly upside down, avoid turning your head to look at the camera while you're in the inversion. It's not so good for your neck. So if you need to look at the camera, make sure you come out of the exercise, watch the demo, and then go back into your own world. Okay, here we go. So eyes up towards the ceiling, bridge the hips up. I'm not going to make it any fancier than this for right now. So you can keep your eyes looking towards the ceiling. Feet are planted. Hips go up and down. Arms are planted. Helping you push your arms into the mat so that your hips can come up higher. We're going to go for 5 more. Get that hip extension. So healthy for your joints. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Send your left leg out long and your left arm overhead. Look over your left armpit.
So the whole left side of your body has gone completely long. Yeah. Push off your right arm and your right foot to help you roll over onto your side. And we're going to bring your right arm up towards the ceiling and then up overhead to frame your ears. Yeah. Good. From here, we're going to roll ourselves back nice and slow. Roll yourself back to the mat and then swing your right arm back down towards your side. Push off your right arm and right leg to roll over onto your left side. Bring your arm up towards the ceiling and then float it overhead. Slide the hips back first and slowly, piece by piece, roll yourself back onto the mat. And we're going to swing that right arm down by your side. Now, if it feels okay on the shoulder, we're going to swing the right arm out to the side. It's going to roll over past our ears as we push through the leg and to roll onto your left. Okay, if you need a demo, just watch and then play for yourself. So we're kind of making little snow angels with the right arm and pushing off the right leg to help us roll left. Good. Nice job. Good. And for those of you that are like, this is so easy, I don't know what the big deal is. Okay. There will be a time that maybe having rolling over skills will be super, super helpful. You'll look back and be like, I'm so thankful I learned some of these skills. Yeah. Last one. Push and roll. Speaking of that, where is my dad today? Huh? Rolling on back. Playing hooky. Okay. I'm going to spin my body around just so I can stay facing the camera. You do not have to, but we're going to do the same thing with the other side. So right leg all the way long. Right arm all the way up, overhead. Left leg is bent. Left hand is out to the side. Push through your left side to roll you over onto the right side of your body. And eventually that right arm is your left arm is going to frame your head. Yep. Articulate your spine coming back down nice and slow. Feel slinky in your spine. And then bring your arm back out to the side. Snow angels with the left arm as you push off the foot and roll onto your right side. Good. Now, for some of you, because I know that I have high expectations for you, you're going to try to keep that knee facing the ceiling, your left knee. Don't let it collapse down on the other thigh. So keeping it lifting. Yeah, it's almost like a clamshell. You remember those? Yeah, boring clamshells from PT. You got it. Yep. See, they were useful at one point, right? You're like, why am I doing clamshells? These are so boring. Because Steph's going to use them in class later. That's why. Up and over. Continue that practice of rolling, pushing through your left foot. Get that work in your glute and your hip. Last one. We're going to come over to the side and stay there. Good. Bend your knees in. Push yourself off the floor. And if you're facing away from me, turn your body so that you can see me in on your screen. Good. We sort of have finished ourselves in sort of this side sit position. So if you were laying on the floor, right, and I had you push yourself up, you might be in something like this. Legs off. I'm going to say legs off to one side, hands are in the other. We're going to do push-ups here. Make sure that your fingers are facing the direction that your head is going. Lower your body down to the ground, bend your elbows, and then push away. Good. Twisted push-ups, they're great. Go ahead and pump them out. I'm not going to give you a rep count. We're going to go for a period of time, going as quickly as you can. Start building up a little tempo, little heat. That's it. Nice job. We're going to go 5 more seconds, 4 more seconds, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Okay, we're going to swing those legs over to the other side. Walk the legs around. This is called a side sit. Hands are here. Nice. Some of us still getting into position.
No worries. Whenever you get there, let's go ahead and start the push-ups here. Twisted push-ups. Getting a little burn on your triceps. It's a good thing. Almost like you're pecking at something on the ground. Can you boop your nose on the floor without smashing your nose? What's your precision there? Do you overshoot it, undershoot it, shoot it? Can you make that perfect boop? Everyone know what a boop is? Boop. Yeah, okay. If you have a dog, you know exactly what a boop is. 3 more seconds, 2 more seconds. Last one. Nicely done. From here, shake out your wrists for a second and then come into your hands and knees position, your quadruped. Okay, we're gonna tuck our toes, similar to what we did at the beginning of class. We had the toe pads down, right? We had the toe pads down. See if you can make that happen. Rock your hips back over your heels and then pull your body over your wrists. Good. Sit back, sit forward, sit back, sit forward. Beautiful. I'm going to change the shape of the spine a little bit just to increase your body awareness and proprioception. When you sit the hips back, round your spine, look between your thighs. When you come forward over your wrists, come into extension, stick your booty out, stick your heart forward. Round your spine as you sit back, extend your spine as you come forward. It's cat-cow, but we're way more dynamic. Reach. Round and forward. If it's too hard to coordinate those things, just do your regular rocking. Don't worry about the spine movement. Last 2. One more time. Good. And release. We're going to come up into a high kneeling position. Now, if being on your knees isn't so comfortable, feel free to sit down or stand up, but we're just going to do a little bit of wrist and hand mobility, and then we're going to be coming back to that hands and knees position. Okay. If you have large, bulky rings, my ring is so big. No, I'm just kidding. If you have large, bulky rings, take them off. We're going to do some webbing of your finger stretch. So we're going to go thumbs, the webbing of your thumbs, rub them together. Yeah. You can just be in a comfortable position. You can be seated, standing, kneeling, whatever. Yeah, nice job. Ellen, I love that. You've been doing work like this for a long time, I can tell. Yeah. Okay, peace sign. Nice. Star Trek. Ooh, that one's gnarly for me. Feeling it. And then pinkies wide. Yeah. All right, so we're stretching the webbing of our hands so that when we place our hands on the floor, we can have a really, really big footprint or handprint. Okay. The bigger the handprint, the better the balance, the more our hands are working, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And then villain squeeze. So interlacing the fingers and giving a little squeeze. Pump. Yeah. Yeah. You can kind of like slide them around. You're just getting all the webbing all at once. Give your thumbs a little bit of a massage. Good. And then make a fist with your hand. We're going to go wrist rolls. Try not to have the arms doing a full thing. Just a wrist roll. Can you switch direction? Excellent. Nice work. I can't fool you guys anymore. All right, come on down to the ground. Hands and knees. Separate your fingers as wide as they will go. We just stretched your webbing, so maybe you can get a little bit more than you did before. Toes are tucked. And the hands are underneath your shoulders. We're going to shift forward into your hands. Here's the doozy. We're going to float those knees up a little bit. Bring the knees down and shift back. Shift forward. Push the ground away through your shoulders. Lift your knees up. Knees come down. shift back slightly. Shift forward, push the ground away. Find your shoulders to help you float your knees. And then back. And of course, I don't want you coming down super heavy. Save those kneecaps, okay? Don't crash down, nice and slow. Yeah. 4 more. Shift, hover, down and back. Shift, hover, down and back. Nice job, team. One more time. Shift forward, hover, down and back. Nice job. We're going to go toes flat or laces of your feet flat. Slide your knees apart, but have your toes touching. And then bring your elbows down to the ground. Okay. Right here, I want you to try to flare your sit bones. So stick your booty up towards the ceiling. And then sit your hips back over your heels. You may feel a stretch in your inner thighs. Or hopefully you feel a stretch in your inner thighs. That's what this is about. And then you're just going to rock forward and back out of that. So inner thigh stretch, rock forward and back. Excellent. 2 more. Good. And then bring yourself back into your hands and knees position. You're going to want to narrow your knees a little bit. Perfect. You can have your feet flat again. So you can have the tops of your feet flat. No big deal. I'm going to turn this way. We're going to take your left hand. I like to play piano just to be like, okay, yeah, this is my left hand. Thread it underneath. Bend your right elbow so that you can drop down to the ground or towards the floor. Good. Then bring yourself back up. This is called thread the needle. We plant our hand. Right hand, you can play piano. Make sure that's your right hand. Slide it underneath. Look over your right shoulder and drop down towards the ground. Nice, team. Bring it back up. We'll do that a couple more times. Now, the vestibular aspect of this is rotating and looking over your shoulder. Find something on the ceiling. May require that your eyeballs move quite far. Bring yourself back in. Eyeballs come forward. Thread underneath. Your eyeballs twist. Look up towards the ceiling. Bring it back in and reset. Nice job. Twist and rotate. Eyes go up towards the ceiling. Bring it back in and reset. Last one over to the other side. Twist under. Eyes go towards the ceiling. And in and reset. Nice job. Now, we're going to try crossing your legs and sit the hips back. Your body may or may not like it. Come forward, uncross and recross to the other side and sit your hips back. Put some weight through it. So essentially your shin is going to be creating a little massage, maybe a feel good, maybe a not so feel good massage on your calf. Okay. Okay. Some of you may be able to transition all the way into a seated position from this cross. This is what that would look like. You're going to cross and then shift back. Some of you, you're like, no, not today. We're going to just bring the legs through and take a seat this way. So however you want to transition, come into a cross-legged position, sitting on your bum. Some of you may find that sitting just in this position is a lot to ask of your back and hips. I forgot to grab my basket of things. This is what I was talking about at the beginning of class, having your props nearby. So if they come up during class, you're like, oh, I want to put a pillow underneath my bum. That just makes that cross-legged position a little bit more accessible. Okay, so if you need that, go ahead and grab it. I'll give you a quick second. Okay, let's get everyone on the same page. We're going to have our left leg in front. Just so I can keep track of your lefts and rights, you don't have to. Left leg is going to come in front, and there's always one side that's weirder than the other, yeah? All right, So we're going to go hands here, rotate to the side. So you're going to have your hand on your right. This is correct. Your right leg, and your other hand may or may not come down to the floor. If you're elevated on a pillow, that might be a little harder. Just get this rotation. Look over your right shoulder. Bring your eyes back forward and reset. Both hands on your thighs. Just that direction. This is a prep for something. It shouldn't be that hard. It's just like getting the motion over the right shoulder. Good. And then return. Twist over the right shoulder. And then return. One more time. Beautiful. Switch the legs. So now we have right leg in front. Again, one side is always weird. This is my weird side. Rotating, hand across the thigh, look over your left shoulder. And then back center. Again, pick something in front of you that's like your center gaze, and then pick something behind you to lock your eyes onto. And then center. Yep. Rotate behind you, eye gaze. Center. One more time, please. Rotate behind. And center. Nice job. See if you can switch your legs this time without using your hands. Great. Okay. We're going to bring our hands behind us. If you are elevated on a pillow, you may want to also elevate your hands on some yoga blocks. You can do this. It's just going to feel like a far ways down. Okay. It's just going to feel like a far ways down. We're going to pull the knees together and see if you can start to flatten those feet out on the ground. And in fact, give them a little tap. Be like, oh yeah, I'm there. And then release. Squeeze, tap, release. Okay, adding on already because I'm running out of time. We're gonna squeeze and hold. Left arm comes up overhead. Look over your right shoulder, but I still want the squeeze. Reset the hand, reset the legs. Okay. Thighs come together, arm comes up overhead, return and release. Good. Abs come in here, squeeze the legs, rotate over, return. One more time, squeeze, rotate, center, and return. Bring your hands forward, switch the legs. Nice work. Hands come back. Squeeze the thighs. You should have your right leg in front. Is that true? Right arm comes up overhead. We look over the left. Bring the hands down, release the knees out wide. Squeeze. Use your abs to pull the legs in. Rotate behind you, center back, and return. Squeeze. Rotate open, back, and return. Two more, please. Squeeze, rotate, back. That's it. Last one. Squeeze, rotate, and return. Lovely. Switch to the other side. Oops, I didn't have you do it without no hands. That's okay. Level 3 unlocked. Okay, so I'm going to show you the next level, which just takes it up quite a bit. I wouldn't even say it's a notch. It takes it up quite a bit. If that is not right for you today, you have two other options to work on, just the rotating or the squeeze and rotate. Clear? Okay. Starting to get my teaching style. We layer in so you can pick where your stopping point is. All right, so we're going to go squeeze together, left arm up overhead. We're going to bridge the hips up and come into this little breakdancing move. Yeah, nice. And then hips come down, hand comes back, release. Squeeze in, arm comes up, breakdancing move. We lift up, push through those legs. There you go, and return and return. If you're having trouble getting those hips up, try bringing your feet a little bit more in front of you. Give yourself a little bit more space. There you go, nice job. Lots of work in that left shoulder or right shoulder. Here we go, two more. Breakdance move. Yeah. And last one. Perfect. And return. Hands forward, shake out your wrists while you're there, switch to the other side. Now, if you're not doing this on the floor anymore, cross your legs over from your chair and do sit to stands with your legs crossed. Okay, that was a little tangent for someone in the audience there. All right, so we got hands back, Squeeze the thigh, arm up, breakdance move. Bring it down and reset. Squeeze, arm, breakdance move. Bring it down, reset. Got 3 more of those. Up, squeeze. Nice. 1. 2. Good job, team. Last one. Up and hold your breakdance move. Hold it. Can you flip yourself into hands and knees? Preview for next week. Okay, preview for next week. Rock out. Rock out. So that's the add-on. Secrets out. The last bit of that sequence is just pulling yourself all the way into your hands and knees. Okay. All right, let's start making our way to a stand position. You can do this either with your hands on the floor or your hands on a chair or your hands on a table, whatever makes the most sense for you. We're going to bring 1 foot forward towards the pinky of the right. Let's go. Yeah, there you go. Pick a side. Pick a side. Hand comes on your thigh. Push yourself up to a half kneel. Hand down, step the foot back. You can do a few rocking to get the body moving, and then other foot to pinky. Since I didn't cue you your side, hand on thigh, bring yourself vertical. Nice job. Bring it down. This is where having a chair nearby might be helpful. We're going to start bringing ourselves all the way up onto our feet. Shift back, shift forward, right foot to hand. I realize I'm going quite quick with that. Some people may not be quite as quick as me. Hand on thigh, hand on hip. Back foot is helpful here. Rely on that back foot. If you need to use your hand on a chair or whatever, press yourself up to stand. Try to keep your feet wide. Don't step together. Lower the knee down. Hands come down. Replace your foot back. Foot to hand. Again, you can have your hands on a chair. That might make it easier if you have limited mobility there. Hand on thigh, hand on your hip. Your back foot should be helpful. Rise up. Do not step together. Just rise up. Where's your balance? There it is. Drop it down. Hands come down. Step back. We're going to do 1 more each side. Alana, you still with me or do you need another option? Still with me? Okay. Foot forward. Hand on thigh, hand on hip. Back foot's helpful. Rise up. Lower down. Hands come down. Rock a few. Left foot. I'm on the left side anyways. It's the end of class. I start getting sloppy with my right lefts. Back foot is helpful. Rise up. Now let's step together. Good. Walk around the room. See how you feel. Tired, heart rate going, flexible, out of breath. What adjectives would you describe yourself? More stiff, less stiff. You feel more rotation, less rotation. Longer stride, shorter stride. Use your auditory cues. How does your gait sound? Does it sound even? Does it sound shuffly? Does it sound profound? Does it no sound? And then bring yourself back to your center. Standing with your feet underneath you. Don't think about it. And then look down at your feet. Are they parallel? Turned out, turned in, 1 foot, one direction? Are they the same or different than when we started? Check in with your weight shift. Do you feel yourself in a quadrant? Or if you want to get more specific with that, on the forefoot or the heel, the inside or the outside, the right or the left. Maybe you even feel yourself sort of like swaying between all of the quadrants. That's a really good sign. That's your ability to absorb and redistribute forces so that if someone were to bump into you, you'd be able to go, instead of just tumbling backwards. Okay. All right, if closing your eyes feels right to you and you don't feel like you're going to lose your balance, or hold on to something and close your eyes. Take a moment to slow your breath, slow your heart rate. Play back some of your favorite experiences from the last 50 minutes. Which drill or exercise stands out to you the most? Why does that stand out to you the most? Did it feel really good? Was it really hard? Were you frustrated? Whatever the case that it sticks out to you, for some reason, your body is holding on to that sensation. And that might be a way of your body saying, hey, I'm curious about doing this more often. How can we insert this drill into your life, into your daily practice for the next 6 days until we meet again? How can you practice this drill for the next 6 days? Where would it go in your day specifically? Stack it within your routine, stack it with another habit, commit to practicing that drill for the next 6 days. Open up your eyes, go ahead and take a deep breath in. You can reach your arms up overhead, big stretch so that your lungs can inflate further. Inhale, push the ceiling up with the heel of your hand. And then exhale, do a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Let me see it. There you go, Carrie. Nice. Let me see the fluidity. That's it. Good. And nice job, everyone. Great work. I'm going to turn off the recording. So if you want to open up your microphone to share with the group, it's open.